welcome. I'm Caroline Ryder of Ryder Horsemanship. In this month's Holistic Horse Ask the Expert blog is about the purpose and misuse of round pens, round corrals in horse training. So I really want to break down with some bullet points real quick the purpose of a round pen, at least in my method, the purpose of a round pen or round corral. And how often I get so many horses that need to be restarted or some level of rehabilitation through trauma, and every one of them has been round penned. And when they come into this space, the first thing they want to do is take off and run and run and run. And if you try to kind of get in the flight path and settle it or stop it or calm it down, they do these quick, jerky, panicky, outward turns, which means they go straight into the round pen and fly the other direction. So I want to elaborate why I use a round pen, specifically the shape of a pen, and some of this has been covered in my other material that's found on YouTube, but really the purpose of a round corral. And, you know, we come into this space, the one header that I'd like to, I want to break this down and make this information as easy for you to write down as well. And of course, it'll be provided on the YouTube site. But I mean, the purpose is I come in with an intention. And the intention of the space of this round pen is very deep, has many layers. As you can see right now, I have Lovey in, my off-the-track thoroughbred. And so she had to come into some rehabilitation before she could even begin training. So when we come in here, it's to create an intimate space for connection, an intimate space for connecting the mind of the horse. It's not about coming in here. The misuse would be coming in here and just running this horse. My method, and I think a lot of people that enjoy using this intimate space, is not for dominance force training, meaning we don't just come in here and start and running and running and running that horse and accelerating that horse, exasperating that horse into a flight or panicked mode. That is not what we're here to do. I'm not here to run this horse until this horse falls or gives in or submits at all. And often that is the case, at least with a lot of the horses, like most of the horses I end up getting. So the first purpose is to create an intimate space for connection. Intimate. You have to bring that intention to this space. The second would be to develop, and I'm going to be going through all of this with Lovey. I'll show you each one. To develop the 3 levels of joining. In mind, which is her eye and her ears. In body, when the body follows you. And then in the horse's soul. And how does the soul show up? Well, I deal with energy in my work, in chakras. And the soul of a horse, like our chakra system, is around their chest. So this is so key and important to my work, and it is the magic of creating and developing safety. And you'll see how it shows up when she comes to get me at Liberty. Get me from the mounting block and give me permission to get on. It'll be because of the work that we do, the 3 levels of joining, including her soul, that creates and develops this amazing relationship and partnership where she wants me. It doesn't get any better than that. The third intention, purpose of the round pen or round corral is to develop, as I said, the mindset, but also the mindset of focus. Mindset of focus, relaxation, and cooperation, obedience. So this isn't just about the relationship and bonding rituals in here. It's also about developing acceptance, trust, respect, leadership. Those 4 qualities, and this is in one of my other videos on YouTube, those 4 qualities are what develop, nurture, maintain partnership. The 4th would be to assist in developing the mind. Now I know we spoke about the mindset, but really developing the mind of patience and ease. Lovey could leave, Lovey could graze, but because of this work, she doesn't. So here's the mind of relaxation and yet focus. The 5th would be to assist in developing purposeful cardio. So I will come in here and I will send my horses out and I will ask them to trot so many times around here in both directions for so many days before they can handle cantering. But it won't last more than a few minutes each session. I don't run them in here for 15 minutes or even a half an hour. And it's how I prepare them through self-carriage, which is another video of mine, another YouTube video, how I prepare the mind and the body for balance, so that when the horse is moving, they are moving very effectively, efficiently. The sixth would be to develop liberty play. So all of this work helps those of you who want to play with their horses develop it here. And then you can start to take it out into a bigger area, like an open field or your backyard or 50 acres. And as you will see also, and this is represented in many of my other videos, I want her to stay in the center with me. I don't want her to leave and go to the round pen unless I purposely push her out and focus on cardio, which I will show you, or focus on building her stretching down into a working trot and creating the V and the elasticity of her muscles so that she can start to move, develop the strength and the balance to move in and out of transitions smoothly and with fluidity. So it's not just the mind, it's also the body that I want to shape, especially for riding. You know, create all the balance and collection through self-carriage at liberty so that when I ride, it's that much easier. Now those all cover the purpose of the intention, the header. You know, the second header would be the power of position. And I think a lot of us forget how important it is where our bodies are lined up when we are moving our horse around us in the free lunge or liberty work. And it's pretty cut and dry. Many people talk about the horse's drive line, their natural drive line, in many different disciplines, and understanding the power of a horse's drive line. And this is just knowing the nature of horses in the language of Equus. So horses drive each other all the time, leading from behind. And so how that happens and why it's so easy is because anything for a horse, I'm going to get her this way for the camera. The drive line is right in the center of her withers, any horse. So anything behind her drive line naturally pushes her forward. And that's how horses, that's how they communicate when they are, how do I say, whether it's pecking order or working in a hierarchy in a herd. You know, the horse that is more dominant, more in control, will always drive the horses from behind. So anything behind the center of the withers, you know, this is the drive line, center of the withers, anything behind it drives the horse forward, and or I can control and push the body this way. So therefore anything in front of the withers has the power to turn the horse, turn the shoulder, or stop the horse because I might be right in front of the horse. So really, when the horse starts moving around, it's so important for us to be very self-aware of our position. You know, where are we? And in my method, I can't emphasize enough that I want you, the person, the human, the handler, and eventually the rider, I want you set up right where that girth would be, if not further behind, where like the saddle or where you would be riding. I want you set up right here in all of this work. One, because I understand the natural law of driving with horses, the line here that divides how you can push them forward or stop and turn them. I understand that, but it's also to help keep this connected mind and body to you in the work, on the ground. And you'll see again, this is what creates and develops my getting permission to get on horses, why they'll come to the mounting block at liberty and allow me to get on like this relaxed, this trusting, this cooperative. So it's a very powerful position. And working with energy and chakras, I'm also aligning the horse's third chakra, their power chakra, their fire chakra. This is the chakra of action and purpose, of action and purpose and movement, the most powerful, with yours. You know, I'm aligning you spine to spine. So as the horse is working, and you'll see this around, I'm putting you in a wonderful position for synchronizing and aligning you, both in the mind and in the body, and then the soul. So it's very, very important, your position, very important. And then the third header of this would be the power of movement, not abusing movement, meaning I don't want to come in here and run a horse. and dominate them in here and force them until they're exhausted. There are times when I will purposely drive and create the momentum and the energy, and there's times when I am going to back off and allow the horse to figure out some things in this space. And then most of all, I'm creating the space for the horse to stay connected and stay close to me. So the power of movement is amazing. Movement creates try in a horse. It motivates the try. But it doesn't mean you have to run them around here. Just because I'm sending the horse out with a lot of energy and then I back off, it doesn't mean I have to run this horse to get my point across. That is so key. They are so intelligent. They are so tuned in. Give them the chance to show you. So the power of movement is there. Not only am I moving the horse to let them know that I can control their movement and to help them become comfortable with me controlling their movement, how fast they go, and what direction, and the change of direction. That would be the first. The second would be it builds cardio. Here we go. Can I get a nice cadence to the trot? Can I get cadence to the canter? Meaning I don't want irregularity. I want consistency, because that tells me the horse has both emotional, mental, and physical control. And the third would be to motivate the trot. So I'm going to ask Lovey to join me in the center. I'm not going to go through in great depth or detail how I do it, though. You can find all of that within the YouTube videos, whether they're on my channel, Caroline Ryder, or you can find them on Holistic Horse, and of course my own DVDs, because it would take forever. I could spend 3 hours, and I have an online course dedicated to this approach. But right now, I just want to show you how wonderful it is to come in here and get your horse's attention and bring your horse to you in her mind and in her body. And of course, my whip is here as an extension of me. It is used as an extension to hug her, to pull her in, and it's used as an extension to project energy and move her out. And she's learning to pay attention to my intention, not just my action, not just this or this, because if it's not projected, if it's not on her, and that's what we're still working on, she's so sensitive, but she shouldn't be, because I'm not paying attention to her. Now I'm going to turn around and put the focus on her. Now, I was real clear. That meant I need you to back up. So I'm still working on Lovey not reacting to this whip. She was extremely fearful of it. Both of my off the track, very fearful, head shy, everything. So bringing her in, again, horseman's handshake, bring her into the center, because this is where I want to keep her. If she chooses to leave me for whatever reason, I will do my best to bring her back. But I just want to show you a kinder, more thoughtful, mindful way of working with horses. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be assertive. Doesn't mean I'm not going to have boundaries and be really clear with her. But it's how I do it. It's how I say it and how I communicate it. So here's our hug. And the purpose of using this long lunge whip is many. And it needs to be long enough so that when she's out around me, she can still feel me. If she can't feel me energetically and with my intention, I can throw this whip over her back and she can literally feel me through the whip. And then there's the hug that says, come back to me or stay with me. And that's really important for her to feel safe, every horse to feel safe, because that's the only way they're going to be open enough to learning, just like us. So again, I don't come in this space to threaten her. I don't want her to get defensive. If she does, we're going to have to work through that. There are a lot of horses that do. They're very worried in this space because it's been used incorrectly. And it's been used to provoke their adrenaline, to escalate them, and dominance force training. You're the dominant, you're the alpha, show them who's boss. I don't get that. It doesn't work here. And it makes no sense. I don't know who even designed that. I don't even know what human, where that originated from. In hierarchy, in socialized animals that have hierarchy and pecking order, there's always going to be dominant, passive, and submissive personalities, always, in any species that has hierarchy and pecking order, social order. Horses are obviously just like that. But horses are not aggressive by nature. They are extremely passive. And that is the psychology, period, of a prey animal. It's just the nature of a prey animal. So they don't, when you see aggressive horses, that's not right. And so I'm not going to come in here and boss her around. I'm going to prove to her that I'm worthy of leadership for her to follow me. And that's a whole nother video right there. So I'm going to be real clear about my purpose in here. So I'm going to back her up, which is my way of saying I'm getting ready to do something. So I get 2 ears and 2 eyes on me. Good girl. And I'm going to push her out into a free lunge close to me, as you can see. Good girl. Good. And I am going to, in my method, work on the embodiment, the rhythm of the gait that I want her to have, or the transition. So if I want her at the walk, but a working walk, then I'm going to embody the energy of a working walk. And if I want a trot, I'm going to embody that. Good girl. Good girl. And then I will hold that space. Good girl. So this mindset that Lovey has right now, and the way that she's carrying her body and the tempo, meaning the consistency of her trot, tells me that she's very relaxed, confident, and connected to me. And that's the mindset that I want in training and riding. This is the mindset for trail riding. This work is so important to developing the mindset, the relationship as well as the partnership. It took a long time to get her this easy and relaxed with this, especially being an off-the-track thoroughbred. But still, I've had plenty of horses that never raced that go nuts in here. And it's not normal. That has been created. They come into this space and they have been run and run and run. So here we go again. And this time I'm going to show you how I'm going to put her out on the rail purposely. We're going to work on cardio. I have her out there. I'm not holding her. I didn't ask her to stay in by holding her. So what I want the camera to pick up is that she's going to start to find she has her rhythm, her regularity. And I want her to start to stretch by putting her nose down. So the more she stretches, the more she has relaxation in her movement, more rhythm. So we're going to keep doing this until she gets even more relaxed at this trot and finds that rhythm even more. Good girl. See how she wants to come in? It's beautiful. Good girl, love. But we're just going to keep, this is how I develop the cardio. I'm going to push her out a little bit more with my whip. Just push her out. Good girl, but I need you out. Good girl. Thank you for the question, but I don't want you in right now. Good. So it's really important that she has this nice big trot, and I want her to get to the point where she relaxes. I don't want her to keep going around with her head in the air. Good girl. So just wait, people. Let her figure it out. You see, there's some inconsistencies right now. She keeps wavering, waning. She wants to come in, then she's pushed out. She speeds up. There we go. Good girl. So let her find that carriage. Good girl, love. And encourage that. Good girl. Encourage it with praise. Good. There's the stretch I want. There's the stretch. Good girl. That is beautiful. That was excellent. Good girl. So I would continue to do that though, many times tracking to the left and, hoping that she would continue to stretch like that. And then I would do it, I'd pull her in, and then I would do that. I'd work her the same way to the right until she could get several revolutions with that kind of a stretch. Doesn't mean she has to be stretching the whole time. But the importance of the stretch is not only the relaxation in her mind and the tempo and the cadence, the relaxation in her movement. The stretching is so important to building a horse's top line for balance and self-carriage. Meaning if she can put her nose to the ground and not speed up and maintain the same consistent tempo while in that big working trot, that's where balance is. That's where she's stretching those muscles and coming way underneath of herself with her hind end so that she can hold her body. So that's also how, you know, that's a whole nother, I have another video on that too. But this is so key. This is the why we use this space. I mean, this is for training. Like I said, it's for developing the relationship and partnership. So let's get her back out there, and we'll go to the right again. Good girl. Good girl, love. We'll just start out slow, just to make sure she doesn't assume and she's not a bit up. Good girl. I'm gonna send her out. Good, out to the panel again. And in that trot, and I'm eventually gonna, I was eventually gonna ask her for the lope. You read my mind. Good girl. I'd like her to just keep trotting and stretching again. Thank you, love, and she read my mind. Because when you create this V, when you create the stretch and this level of self-carriage and balance, then it'll be that much easier in her mind to just easily, smoothly, good girl, transition into that canter, both mentally and physically. Here's the stretch, and here's the lift for the canter. Good. Nope, you're off the lead. Let's get her back on her lead. Good, let's get that trot, and then lift into the canter. Good girl. That, and we're just going to leave her out there for a little bit. Good girl. Now, I don't want to send her into any of this, the big trot or the canter, unless I have connection, people, meaning she keeps looking at me and wanting to either come in or listen to my energy, which said, let's come down. My energy was up and embodying the rhythm of the canter, and then I took the energy away to take either the transition down or to change gait. So I don't want to send her out there unless I have connection. That's the key piece to this work of mine. Because look at how relaxed she is. It's not perfect. It's not going to be like my schoolmasters, like Sundance or Smokey right now. She's still in training, obviously, but it's come a long way. It's come a long way, and I brought her in here because you can see some of the inconsistencies which will help you identify as you're working with your horse, and then you'll see with the eye that I want to train you what it looks like when the horse is relaxed and the movement is fluid. And again, that's a beautiful, the space, the round pen, that's a wonderful purpose for using a round pen. And the difference between using it in my eyes purposefully, positively, and or misusing it, where I would just get her in here and run her. Oh, she's all worked up today. She's all flighty because of the wind. Well, let's just run her for an hour until she's exhausted. You realize all you do is, one, build stamina. You just build stamina. And you've triggered and re-triggered her flight mode and her adrenaline. I don't know of any horse that comes out of that, besides being exhausted and lathered, that is ready to focus on you and feel safe and relaxed with you. All right, so real quick to wrap this up, I'm going to show you how all of this connection, the mind, body, and the soul, right here, creates the permission to get on and the beauty of getting on when your horse wants you. I'm going to ask her to turn around. I'd like your other eye. I'd like your left eye. But this is what's so cool about it. Good girl. Thank you, lovey. Thank you, baby. Is that she goes through the process of being so thoughtful, so connected. How can I help? I mean, that was all through the power of my mind. This isn't a technique. You don't teach this. This is what happens when everything else is working so beautifully. And this is the mindset that I want to ride and I want to train, because she is an off-the-track thoroughbred. You can only imagine. She says, I'm done. Good girl. And we're going to go up there. Yeah. Good. And there's our halt. And there's the power of energy and mind and how you learn to ride bridleless. Take it nice and slow. Thank you. Now may you always be one with your horse.